Hey, Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you this layout I created using Echo Park's Easter Wishes collection. I am going to create a sort of a grid in a grid, and so I'm going to use this yellow as a very fine border for a white piece of cardstock, which will then be framed, only it's sort of reverse framed by a whole piece of the, I'm going to call them jelly beans. They're spots, but they look kind of like jelly beans in the background, and that is going to be the full background of the layout. So it's framed by that polka dot sort of jelly bean pattern paper. I am going to apologize for my voice. I have been waiting to voice over this video, but this froggy voice is not going away. This is one of those long lingering things, and so I've just got to get on with life and do the things that I need to do. So I apologize for that. So I've just gutted the yellow because I didn't need too many layers in the paper here. And then I'm going to stick that down, and that is the background for my layout. So these pictures are of my daughter at Easter last year. I have a layout coming up of my son at Easter, and so this is her version. They'll go side by side in the album. So that is washi that comes with this collection that I'm just going to use to frame the header or the top of the layout, and then I'm going to use a strip of that, there you go, the Chocolate Bunnies pattern paper, and that is just going to be the matching footer for the bottom of the layout down there. Just going to trim that so that it fits within the square there, and I am still able to see the yellow border. So then I'm going to figure out the alignment of these two photos, and I kind of play around with that for a little while as I continue to create the layout. Because she's facing one direction and then facing forwards in the other, it becomes a little confusing how they're best going to lay out. I'm going to go with this tag and frame and use the frame to back one of the photos, and then later on you will see me use the innard of that. I'm going to fussy cut out those 3 eggs there. Now, mind you, there are plenty of eggs throughout the layout, throughout the embellishments. And if you get the full collection, there are tons and tons and tons of things to choose from. It can become a little overwhelming sometimes, which is why I pretty much stuck to the sticker sheet and the chipboard pieces, and I went with those. I did use a couple of the tags and frames, you'll see them here, but it started to get overwhelming. I had so many choices that sometimes it helps if you just narrow down to a few of the goodies. So I like dimension in my layouts, so I'm going to pop one of the photos on top of the frame there, and then tuck the other photo in behind. This layout is very bottom heavy in many ways because I do have the pictures there in order to create some weight up the top. That is why I put the tag and frame that is going to go up top, that one right there, and I am going to put that on top of some foam too, so that it's creating some dimension. I also am able to, what I do is I go in after the fact and I add my journaling in there, and I do add some twine, and that twine drifting down into the layout kind of ties everything together as well, and you'll see that better in the close-ups. So I am going to use some of these stickers here, and then I'm going to get out this super cute chipboard chick. What Easter layout is complete with, or is not complete without a chipboard chick? So he's going to go in there, and he kind of closes off that gap on that right hand side, and he's holding his red flowers, and I tried to use the red elements where I could because she is wearing a red shirt, and there's nothing Easter about that. So in order to make the to kind of tie the layout into the embellishments and the pictures. That's why I tried to use the red embellishments to sort of offset her red shirt that she's wearing. They're actually her pajamas. Which made me think, mental note to self, next year remind the kids, or this year, to wear Easter color pajamas. So I play with this title. I know I want it to go above the photos, but the problem is do you see I have that big gap to the left-hand side of the photos? It's going to be easy enough to fill, and I do end up doing that, but how I'm going to, I really struggled with that initially. So again, there's more of those red flowers, and it's those three things that tie the layout together. That's what ends up being the trio. And you see, I'm just overwhelmed by all these tags and things. So I'm going to use some of the enamel dots, and they're going to end up being, so initially I ended up just putting a cluster of 3, but then I really liked the yellow enamel dot in the inside of that flower. So that's what I decided to do throughout the layout there. And then I'm going to find that third one. Yep. And those become my trio that move your eye from that top right through to the title. And it'll actually go through the journaling as well, through the photos down to that embellishment cluster on the right-hand side. Although I am about to build a pretty big embellishment cluster on that left-hand side there. So I've lost the eggs. That's what I'm looking for, the innards. There we go. So I'm going to cut those out and then scatter them throughout the page. And that is going to be how I use this Easter Wishes collection from Echo Park. There are tons of great embellishments to choose from. As you can see there, there's a die set that comes with it. There are stencils that come with it. It is an amazing collection. I just could not use all of it on one page. I am going to put a chipboard bunny over in that cluster on the left-hand side. See, I went with the sticker at first, but I really like the chipboard, and I'm going to put a twine bow tie on him once, and I'm going to do that off camera actually, as well as the journaling. So you can see I've got the trio of eggs that are scattered throughout the layout that ties everything together, but really I think it's those 3 red flowers that kind of move your eye around the page, and it works much better once that journaling is in there. So that, my friends, is my Easter Wishes layout for Echo Park. I thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the close-ups. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.